Welcome to the Strategic Job Search Management System overview. And basically, you can locate the system on at jobsearchboard.com. And there's two components to it. There's the Facebook app, which allows you to access job leads or job opportunities, and then there's the Job Search Board, which allows you to manage those job leads in a systematic, strategic way. And basically, the what you're collecting are job cards, and job cards represent job leads, whether it's from a company, directly from a company, a friend, etc., etc. It allows you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the job search board, and basically this is what it looks like. So you have your information about yourself here. You have the number of shared job cards and received job cards, which is affiliated to the job search board on Facebook app, and then the PAI status, which is the number of prospects identified, number of applieds that you've applied to, and then the interviews, number of interviews you set. Now you can see the job search board itself is really a visual representation of the job search process, and you basically you're housing your job opportunities in a job card format that easily allow you to move it through the job search process. And the process for each opportunity basically is, of course, identifying the opportunity, then applying for it, setting an interview, going to the interview, getting a verbal job offer, and getting a job. So in a perfect world, you'd be able to move from step to step within this typical hiring cycle. Now, the hiring cycle, depending on the industry that you're trying to attempt, determines the dates involved or the time involved in each of these columns. So for example, if you're looking at a professor's position, it's anywhere from 8 to 12 months. So this whole process should take on average 8 to 12 months. And if you're not moving your cards from step to step, it's a good indication that something is not in line with your chances of getting the job. So you may want to adjust, you may want to consider other options, etc., etc. But the system itself just basically allows you to move those job cards and track and manage it. So for example, this particular opportunity, I could simply, once I've applied to it, move it to the applied column, and it moves to the applied column. And you can see that the applied column has changed to 2, and so does the PAI status. So you can actually see the increase in terms of what's going on there. And then also, once you've applied, and let's say the employer calls you for an interview, you simply need to bring it over to the set interview. And what happens is an interview date. It comes up and you're prompted to put that date in, and you can basically set it. And what that means is you'll get an email to remind you that the job or the interview is coming up in 24 hours. So it's just a way of kind of keeping in tune with that. And then after you have the set interview, you can move it to the interview column, meaning that you've actually gone on the interview. Once you get a verbal job offer, you can move it to the job offer, and then once you actually get the job, you can get it to the job, move it to the job column. And basically what it does, it allows you to keep track of all your job opportunities, that you're actually going over in a visual kind of format way. In addition to being able to track that, it produces a report. And the report shows you what type of job you're applying for, how long a job's been in the column, again, because the job search is date driven, the movement of your job cards for the history of your account. So for example, I moved this card, moved from verbal to job offer 24th of August at 2:30:24. And then type of opportunity is basically those job cards. Where are you identifying them from? Are they coming from an advertisement? Is it coming from a job postman? Is it coming from a member? And what's important about this is you need to access the hidden job market, and those don't necessarily come in the form of a newspaper. It comes in the form of friends and family and neighbors and those types of things. So this really gives you a track. And as you can see here, the hidden job market indicator, basically shows you what percentage you're accessing the hidden job market. And if it's below a certain percentage, it means that the chances of you getting a job dramatically decreases. So it just keeps track of those types of things. Some other features that allow you to kind of use in the board, you can store resumes and cover letters on here. You can store contacts if you like that you can export and so forth. And basically there's some setting functions that allow you to determine when you'll receive it. So for example, set the number of days to be notified via email that the card hasn't moved. You can set this in here. It's really in line with your typical hiring cycle. So if the hiring cycle's 8 weeks and you have 5 columns to move through, you might want to set it to 10, 12 days so that you're notified that you either got to move it forward or not hold on to the job opportunity. Or you could just totally disable all email notifiers so that your email box is not inundated with emails based on your activity. So basically, those are the kind of the features. One other feature is you can actually download as a PDF or print it out so that if you're working with a job coach, you can bring it with them. But basically, that's the type of information that we're talking about, what you can do with that element of the job search board. Now, the app itself, so you can see that there's a share a job card and request a card. Again, it's about managing the job cards, but it's also about identifying job leads. And the Facebook app, if you have a Facebook account, will allow you to request job leads from your friends. And vice versa, being able to share it. So let's say, for example, I wanted to request a job lead from my Facebook friends. I can simply click on request a job lead. And there's two types of job cards. There's a job lead job card and there's a referral. So if you wanted to request a referral to a particular company, you can do that. Or if you want to request a specific job lead from your network, you could do that as well. So all I need to do is simply click on the job lead area, and it brings up the most relevant friend matches to the type of job that I'm looking for that's based on my profile. So for example, this one's targeted industry, so I have the option of selecting one of these individuals. If there was a friend of mine that had connection to a targeted company, again, it would appear, and then all we have here is all the other friends in our networks that we can kind of tap into and request a card. So let's say, for example, that I want to request a job card from this individual. An email template automatically pops up. They'll get an email directed to this individual. Here's a pre-scripted email. You can go in and you can actually edit that particular email, send request, and it will go out to that individual requesting a card. If an individual doesn't have the app, you can invite them to the app, and once they accept the app, there'll be a pending job card request stating that you're looking for a job card. So again, once those types of things are done, you can look and try to identify some job leads. Now, the job cards, received job cards that you receive are stored in the system as well on the job card side. You can actually add to your board. So there's 3 options. You can add the job card to your job search board. You can decline the job search card, or you can share it with your friends. Up to you. Let's say, for example, in this, we wanted to add the job card because we were interested in this job. So if I click on the I can see information about the job opportunity. So things like what's the position, shared by the individual, does the sender know the contact for the hiring position, no, link to job posting, where it is, and so forth. So if I'm interested in it, I simply click on add the job card, and what will happen is the job card is already, in this case, the job card was already added, so I'll pick another one. But let's say it was this one here. I click on this particular, and that one's added as well. I'll click on this one to see which one is available. They're all been added. And I'll just click on this one. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So let's say I wanted to, search a job posting. What's in the system you can request from your friends, of course, but there's also over 3 million job leads, new jobs. So let's say I'll just take, for example, I want to look at sales, and I'm looking at Toronto. I'll spell that correctly, Toronto, Ontario. And I'm looking for, just giving you an example of a broad search. I can actually look at the particular opportunity, click on it here, and take a look at what the position is about. So it's a sales assistance company, is an office team, link to job posting so I can actually get more information, where the location of it. And if there's any friends in my network tied to it, it would be indicated here. So if I wanted to contact them. So basically what I would do then is either have the option of sharing or adding to my job board. So let's say I was interested in applying for this job. I'd simply click add to my job board. And what happens is the job card was successfully added to my job search board. I then click on Manage Job Cards, and I can go over to the job cards, and you can see that this job card has been added. One thing I want to show you is, because this is a strategic job search management system, when you do set up your profile, it's going to ask you to indicate a job A or a job B. So if I go and try to move this card, it's going to say you need to link this job opportunity to job A or job B before moving this card. Simply click on OK, and right in this area here, I have to say whether it's a job A. Now, a job A is the job that I'm actually looking for and very interested in working for. It could be a dream job, etc. A job B is all those other jobs that can potentially make me more qualified or competitive for that job A. So if I click on job B, in your profile, you're going to be required to put skills and criteria. I can indicate, well, this job can help me with my teaching and my research, and the criteria in terms I set for taking a job other than the job A is that it's close to home and I have access to contact. So what it forces me to do is to think strategically long term, that if I do take this job, it's advantageous because it's going to make me more competitive when a job A comes along. So I simply click on submit there, click on submit, and then it indicates in my area of the job card here that it's a job B, and then I can actually apply and move it to the job card, to the applied column. So let's just go back to the job card app, which is of course on Facebook. And here you can see that here is the homepage. This is the dashboard. So what you have here, it gives you an opportunity to search over 3 million real-time jobs that you can either share with your friends or you can add to it. It gives the most recent activity on my job search board. So at a quick glance, I can see exactly what's going on. I have 8 opportunities, applied to 2, set interviews, and so forth. It gives the most recent. If I want, I can go to it. There's also a job card feed. So when I'm sharing or requesting a job card, I can actually share a job card to the job card feed, which means all my Facebook friends can actually view it. And then this just information allows me to add friends and invite, because obviously the more friends I have on the system or using the app, the more access I have to the hidden job market. And then job cards that may interest you. If an individual friend is using the app and they match some of your profile, it'll indicate if they have any job cards available to you. So one thing I didn't show you was the share a job card. So when you share a job card, again, it's the same thing as request a job card, except you have a job lead or a referral. So let's use a job lead, and again, we'll go to share from a job posting. I just want to kind of search around and see what my friends, if my friends have a job. So let's say, for example, we'll take a nurse, and we'll say we're looking at, again, in Toronto. So I'll just type in Toronto, Ontario. I'll click search. When I click on search, it'll bring me results. If there are any results here, we can take this one here, and it says, if I click on the information for that particular job opportunity, it will generate that information and it will show me. And for example, it's a senior staff nurse, the company name, the exact ad and where I can apply, Toronto, etc., and if any friends were there. So if I click share on the particular job card, what it does is it brings back all the friends that I'm able to share it with, but it shows a relevancy score in terms of whether or not that individual is interested in actually taking the job. So for example, this individual has a 20% relevancy. If I click on the eye, it shows me where they're relevant. So they have the targeted country, targeted city, and has the application. So I may or may not want to share it with those individuals based on what I'm actually doing. So for example, if I take one of those, I just need to click share, and the job card will actually be shared with that particular individual. So again, that's just another option. So the main functions, again, just to kind of review on this, is it's about share a job card, requesting job cards, and then managing the job boards. And it's about going back and forth between the app and the job search board, so that once I collect enough job cards, I can manage throughout the job search process. The emails are sent out to remind me about what's actually going on, etc., in my job search, and to force me to do things that will be positive towards increasing the likelihood of finding a job.